Hey, this is Awais with OpenTrader, and this is the market analysis and outlook video for the week of November 5th. Now, our last video was shot on Wednesday, October 31st, and the main idea we discussed in that video was that we had significant support in the 1390 to 1400 area, and if ES could get back above 1407 on a test of the 1390s, we could actually get an upside breakout. And our upside targets were 1421 quarter to 23 quarter, 1426, and finally 1428 to 1430. So we can see that in the overnight session, heading into Thursday, ES actually tested 1398 half, and we got a strong buy response there. We opened on a gap up and then drove up right off the open, so it was a trend up day, and we reached the 1421 quarter to 1423 quarter target and very close to 1426 on the day time frame on Thursday. The following day, off the non-farm payroll report, we got a move up towards that 1428 to 1430, which was our final target on this upside breakout. So if we look at the bigger picture chart, we can see that 1428 is actually the heavy acceptance area in our bigger balance area where the ES is currently ranging. So bigger picture, what happened was we rejected this high volume node at 1407 at the time, and we moved from an area of acceptance in one balance area to an area of acceptance in the prior balance area, which was 1428. We also had a naked VPOC at 28.5, an open gap at 1430, which were both hit, and this move up attracted responsive sellers, and ES actually drove down right off the open on Friday. Let's actually switch back to the other chart, and we can see that after driving down, ES consolidated, built a little micro balance intraday, and then the break below that balance resulted in another liquidation move back down to that 1407 or now 1406 half composite VPOC on our current balance area chart. So basically, you know, bigger picture, we rejected one area of acceptance, drove up to the heavy acceptance in the prior balance area, the bigger picture balance area that we're working with. We rejected over there, failed at 1428, and drove back down to 1406 half. And then because we had driven, we had done so much price discovery on the downside in one session, and now we were at the lower end of value on our current balance area here, which is roughly 1397, or it was 1397 to 1416.75, and then this was the breakout, and at this point it's a failed breakout. So we'll be watching to see what happens from here. But at this point, on Monday, we can see we opened towards the lower end of the value area, 1402 half. We had responsive buyers active. So this was the lower end of value. It was also the overnight low at 1402 half. We had responsive buyers active over here for a pushback up towards that 1414.75 to 1416.75, which is basically you could say the dividing line between these two balance areas that we're working with, between these two brackets, right? So between the short-term bracket, which is this chart, and the bigger picture bracket, which is this chart, which is roughly 1397 up to the 1468 high that ES put a few weeks ago. And at this point in time, we're going to be using 1405 to 1406 half as a key support zone to see whether the S&P holds above it, and above that we have support at 1409 to 1411, and ideally if the S&P holds above 1409 to 1411, then there's a shot at this naked VPOC at 1420 quarter. And actually, let me remove these since they've already been hit. I just want to have these reference lines there to show you guys, the levels that we were tracking for this move up. So at this point, this is done. And then we can see we had a naked VPOC at 1406 from Wednesday's session, and then that got hit on Friday. So we can remove that as well. And at this point, if we can hold above 1409 to 1411, then we have a shot at going through 1417 and testing this naked VPOC at 1420 quarter. There's a high volume node, 1420 half on our composite. And we'll see what kind of reaction we get over there. Typically the first test will result in responsive sellers entering the market for a pullback. And in the event that we actually slice through this area, through 1420 to 1421, it'll tell us that there are strong buyers behind this move, and we could actually go back up and test the highs again at 1428 to 1430. So this is a very key area to watch if price gets up there. And again, just see how that area gets broken or how that area gets tested, right? Do we quickly break above it? It'll show up as a low volume node on your intraday profile. If it shows up as a low volume node on your intraday profile, then there's a good chance that we're going to continue up and tag 1425 to 1426 and then 1428 to 1430, and this would indicate that there are strong buyers active in the market. Now in the event that we move up and we kind of start chopping here and get a little rejection, then that'll tell us that, hey, you know, this is still a market that's within balance, and you know, we're getting responsive sellers on the pushes up, responsive buyers on any pullbacks, and this is a balance area that's still kind of, you know, in the works, still maturing, and then we'll look for a breakout after that. But as of now, heading into the next couple of days, the ideas are going to be to keep an eye on 1405 to 1406 half on the downside, 1409 to 1411 is short-term support, and then on the upside, keep an eye on 1419 quarter to 1421 quarter and see how price reacts over there. And if we slice through it, then we have some targets up here. In the event that we actually break below 1405 and then start holding below it, we still have those potential targets below at 1396 half and 1390. If we look at the bigger picture chart, we can see we have a naked VPOC, 1396 half, 1390, open gap at 1383, naked VPOC at 1381, and then those levels would become potential targets on a break and hold below 1405. So those are our thoughts heading into the next few days, and we'll update you in the next market analysis and outlook video. Have a good week. Take care.